You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast. And this is show number 583 for Sunday, the 15th of February, 2026.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum, Jayne Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Jayne.
Hello there, Michelle. Belated Valentine's greetings, maybe?
Oh, bless you, my one and only. Thank you, darling.
Oh, that's all right.
A happy Valentine's Day right back at you.
And as this show airs, you'll be on a week's holiday.
Whoop, whoop.
And that means that it's only a few days till the Disney Dream Girls meet up in person.
Whoop, whoop.
There you go. See, things can only get better, eh?
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for downloading the show and listening in as we have our weekly waffle, because we started this podcast because many, many years ago, 12 odd years ago now, we wanted to have a female British voice talking about Disney. And hopefully we succeed in that, because we've been around for 12 years and people are still listening to us. So thank you very much for being on the journey, whether you are a new listener or whether you've been with us for a number of years. This week's podcast is very kindly brought to you by our amazing sponsors over on Patreon/Disney Dream Girls, because without their support, this show would not come to you. So a big thank you to those lovely people who keep us up and running. And if you want to join the crew, please do so by hopping on over to the Patreon platform. Anyway, Jayne,
Yes, Michelle.
we have got a monster-filled show with all things Disney.
Cool.
But before we begin, I just want to take everyone just to a place where you feel the absolute happiest. And I want you just to close your eyes, preferably if you're driving, don't close your eyes, and just take a moment to think about which theme park are you going to take your mind to? Which part of the theme park are you going to take your mind to? And what you're going to be experiencing. Jayne, where has your mind wandered to this week?
Magic Kingdom.
Of course.
Of course. I'm going to be so predictable. Main Street to people watch, preferably with a Mickey ice cream sandwich to accompany my people watching experience.
Now, this sets me up with a question.
Go on.
Ice cream sandwich or Mickey Premium Bar?
Ice cream sandwich.
You see, I don't like that. And shall I tell you why?
Oh, go on.
I don't like all the sort of like sponginess getting on my fingers when I've been in a dirty theme park. And no offence, Disney, I know the theme parks aren't dirty, but let's be honest, they are germ soup.
Well, two things. One, anti-bac.
Yeah, go on.
And it does come with a wrapper, so you can hold it majority of the time in the wrapper.
You see, I prefer a good old premium bar because it's got the stick, and the stick is my prevention of spread of germs.
Okay, so we now know Michelle has germophobia.
Absolutely.
So if I'm sat with my Mickey ice cream sandwich on Main Street watching the world go by in the Magic Kingdom, where are you going to go?
I'm going to go to the hotel that is so close to my heart, Wilderness Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be sat in the Geyser Grill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have the Marion Burger Bison Burger Malarkey with the aioli, and I'm going to be listening in to the electrical water pageant, which will be floating past.
Yeah, that's a classic. And to be fair, I think it's one of those ones that a lot of people don't really know about. We were back in November, early December time. Oh, actually, it was on Thanksgiving. There you go. My brain actually kicking in. We were on our way back from having a fab meal at Whispering Canyon, going back over to the Magic Kingdom as the electrical water pageant was making its way towards Wilderness Lodge and the Fort Wilderness Campground. And even on the boat, there was a few people go, "Ooh, what's that?" And it's like me and Simon sat there going, "What do you mean? What's that? How do you not know what that is?" But yeah. I'd agree with you. That's a good one.
And to be honest, if you want to find out more about how that came into being, if you delve way, way back in our archives, there's an amazing podcast with the late, great, amazing Jim Carcass, and he talks through the evolution of that and why it came to be. So showing a lot of love for Mr. Carcass just for a moment.
Yeah, and you know what? If you actually bother to walk around the lake, if you walk from Magic Kingdom to Grand Floridian, on the walkway there, as you're walking towards the ground floor, if you look towards your right, you'll actually see the staging area where they keep all the floats for the electrical water pageant.
Oh.
Yeah, just random bits of information.
Well, I hope you've all found your nice comfy spot that you are imagining you are in, whether it's Disneyland, which country, which Disneyland, Walt Disney World. I hope you're all nice and cosy, having some flashbacks to some wonderful memories. But let's start with On This Day in Disney History. 1899, 15th of February, Lillian Marie Bounds was born in Idaho.
Oh.
She was the wife of Walt Disney for 41 years. She originally took the job at the Disney Studios as a secretary and then became an ink artist before she basically was swept off her feet. And in all of the years that she was married to Walt, she was an absolute wonderful sounding board, because if it wasn't for Lillian, we would be fans of Mortimer Mouse.
Of course, yes.
Oh, Walt, Mortimer sounds so stuffy. Or words to that effect.
Yeah, Mickey's a lot more approachable.
Yeah, warm and fuzzy.
Warm and fuzzy.
After his passing, she still was involved in a great deal of things connected to the Disney company. Lots of things that she did to raise funds for children and the arts, and she was particularly active in the fundraising for the Disney Concert Hall. Did you know about all that?
I didn't know all that. No, see, this is why I listen into the show as well, Michelle, because I learn things.
We also have an anniversary.
Ooh.
And on this day in 1950, Disney's 12th animated classic film, Cinderella, was released.
Oh.
And it was based on the fairy tale by Charles Perrault, Cendrillon. And that is why you can go to Auberge de Cendrillon in Disneyland Paris, because it is the carriage of Cinderella.
It's just an excuse for Michelle to show off a French accent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love the film, and I must admit it's a while since I've watched it, so I think it's overdue for me to have a little bit of a rewatch of Cinderella and dream a merry little dream about turning from rags to riches into a beautiful princess who gets swept off her feet.
Yeah,
That's nothing to do with girl power at all, is it, Jane?
No, but, you know, isn't girl power all about choosing how you want that girl power to be? And actually sometimes, you know, a little bit of chivalry and all that isn't a bad thing, surely.
Oh, Jane, you're such a squishy person.
Oh, you know, I'm an old romantic, getting on in my years and all that.
You are indeed. So one thing both Jane and I love, moving away from the history, is a little bit of Disney merch. Everyone who loves some merch, give me a whoop whoop.
I think you might be in an echo chamber there, Michelle.
Is there? There's an amazing new array of wonderfully themed Disney earrings, and I've seen the perfect gift for Jane.
Oh, I've not seen these. What am I missing out on, Shell?
There are, you know, the happy smiley face from It's a Small World?
No.
They've made them into oversized penny-shaped disc earrings, $24.99.
Where from?
Obviously the theme park, Walt Disney World.
Oh. Are they going to have any for later in the year, I wonder?
We shall keep our fingers crossed, Jane, because I know you will be wanting some, and I'll be hunting them down in August.
I'm going to say that would be anything It's a Small World, and I'm there.
And the fact that it's not Bauble Bar, and Bauble Bar earrings tend to have a much higher price point, I don't think they're too bad for $24.99.
No, I don't think so either as well, actually. I'll be quite happy with that. As you say, Bauble Bar, they do tend to be a little bit more on the expensive side, and quite big sometimes as well, as in they're quite heavy. So it'd be interesting to see what they're like. So, yeah, keep your eyes out, Shell.
the ones I've fallen in love with, there's a red Mickey design, your
Mm-hmm.
classic hidden Mickey sort of silhouette, the three circles with a pink bow with red dots in the middle and a white flower and leaves to make it look like it's a strawberry in the shape
Ooh.
of a Mickey,
Haha.
but mini. Strawberry mini earrings, 24.99. I've got a penny for of strawberries. I need those in my life.
Well, this is what we like to do, isn't it? Coordinate our outfits. You know, you have to have the
Absolutely.
correct earrings with the correct outfit.
They also have some Dole Whip danglies, which of course we all love a bit of Dole Whip, 29.99.
Oh, my pocket's going to take some hammering later on in the year.
Yeah. And if you are someone who likes a little bit of lemon, they have a lemon hidden Mickey style design as well. They're 24.99. They have some hoop-esque like pretzel earrings for 29.99. And then they have the Mickey ice cream bar earrings for 24.99. But out of the set of the ones that they've released, these are the ones I'm a little bit cold on because I just don't think they look as good as the others.
Yeah, I think it depends what you're going for outfit wise. I do try to like to coordinate jewelry and outfits, etc. So I think it depends where you're going to go. I suppose if you've got snacky based lounge fly and the like, perhaps it would be a good, they'll
Mm.
work as a good coordinating accessory.
Now, we also have got in the news the Garden Rocks concert series lineup.
Oh, is this going to be anybody I've heard of?
Jane, I am over the moon to tell you that there are a plethora of people I've heard of on this
Oh,
list.
okay. Go on then. Surprise me.
So, starting on March 5th, the music of ABBA, brand new.
Okay. Not an ABBA fan, but
Simple,
anyway, yeah.
Simple Plan, never heard of them.
Never heard of
So
them.
sorry.
No.
Blue October,
Drawing a blank.
yeah. Billy Ocean,
Oh, I know Billy Ocean, yeah.
Caribbean Queen, yeah. The going gets tough. It's yeah. The orchestra, starring former members of ELO and ELO Part 2.
Oh, okay.
Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon.
They still
That's one for my
going.
mum and dad.
I'm gonna say they're
Yeah.
still going. Bless them.
Oh, it gets better. Wait till you hear some of the other ones.
Okay.
38 Special,
Sorry, no.
Chubby Checker,
No. Wow.
Sugar Ray,
Crikey.
Information Society, which I've drawn a blank on,
No, I don't know that either.
Rick Springfield.
Okay, yeah.
The next band took my breath away.
Berlin.
Berlin.
Haha. See what you did there.
Yeah. The Commodores.
Yeah.
Firehouse.
Sorry, guys. No.
Yeah. Then the next one I'm all out of love for.
Air Supply.
Air Supply. Yeah. A Flock of Seagulls.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Plain White Tees.
Yeah.
And if you were walking on sunshine, you'd be listening to.
Katrina and the Waves.
Now, she's not bringing her waves.
Oh.
She's just on her own.
Going solo.
Yeah. 98 Degrees.
Feels like I should know that, but I don't.
No. The Spinners.
Crikey, that's another old name, yeah.
Yeah. Josiah Queen.
Sorry.
I'm Tongi.
No.
And the next one, AJ Crook. Crochet. I don't know how to pronounce this one.
Don't know that one either.
Queen's Rick.
Queensryche, yeah. That's quite heavy.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maverick City Music.
No.
So, Jayne, let's be honest. I think I know at least 50% this time.
I'm going to say, because normally we end up with that situation where we're both sat here recording, looking at each other going, have we just suddenly got old and we don't know these people? But no, I think it's just genuinely a case of American music, not necessarily internationally known artists. Whereas obviously there's a good chunk on there that are of a certain age. She says trying to be
Yeah.
ever so polite and not call anybody old, including herself.
Yeah. I would suggest if you are probably under 35, there's a lot of those performers you might not have heard of, but old birds like us know them.
Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, it is.
You're welcome.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because say I think from our point of view, looking at that list, sometimes we know that they're very much American classic acts, which haven't actually made it over to the UK. So we can be a bit cynical looking at that list, but and they've got to have a good range of artists that are going to appeal to a wide range of people as well, haven't they? So
True. This week's female Imagineer
ooh,
is Peggy Farris.
Peggy Farris. That's not a name I've heard of.
Executive in creative development. Her career, her 50-year career at Disney began as a hostess on Storybook Land Canal
Oh
boats.
wow.
She was instrumental in the research for Epcot Spaceship Earth and later became WDI's liaison to corporate sponsors. So she must have been very good at getting in the money.
Ah, getting all them Coca-Colas and Nestle and everybody to come on board.
Yeah, she was working with Disney, as I say, for 50 years, and her experience in representing Imagineer's artistic vision led to her final assignment as the creative development executive for Disneyland Paris, where for 5 years she led a team of up to eventually 50 people.
Cool.
So she says her favourite project she worked on. I've had the great good fortune of working on lots of favourite projects, but I have to say the most fulfilling project was leading the Disneyland Paris Imagineering team. It challenged me to draw upon all the Disney values I'd absorbed over my time in the company. My 5 years in Paris went by so quickly. They were the most challenging, fun and fulfilling of my career. I lived in one of the world's most amazing cities, formed friendships for a lifetime, and had the absolute privilege of working with so many talented, kind and dedicated people. We accomplished so much together, and for that I am truly thankful.
Wow. But to have 50 years working for a company, that's not bad going at all, is it?
Absolutely. And she said her favourite Disney Parks attraction, Ratatouille, over in Walt Disney Studio in Paris. A delightful mix of immersive fun with Remy and his friends.
And for the time when it came out, it was groundbreaking in that trackless system and everything. So yeah.
Absolutely. Right, so let's move on to our little mini featurette for the week, Jane.
Okay.
So we both have cruises booked for this year with the Disney Cruise Line.
We do indeed.
For me, I will be going on a brand new ship I have never been on before, which is the Disney Wish. Which cruise ship are you going on this year, Jane?
I'm going back to my first ever Disney cruise ship, which is the Disney Dream.
We both know a key essential ingredient to going on cruise ships is the food. So we thought we would do a little bit of a 2-part ranking activity where we're going to talk about the restaurants on the Disney Cruise Line that we've actually eaten at and which are our favourites. And then out of all the current ships that are sailing, so basically no Disney Adventure, which are the ones we are most likely to want to eat at and the least we want to eat at.
I suspect, Michelle, that we might have similar tastes when it comes to the ones we don't want to eat at.
Possibly so, but let's start at the ones we've eaten at. So I've been on the Fantasy, I've been on the Magic.
Yeah, and I've done the Dream, the Fantasy and the Wish.
Okay, so Jane's got a little bit more experience. It's my fault. I went on the Fantasy 3 times.
I think it's just the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? And those ones we can actually obviously take advantage of sailing out of the UK now that they do that, which is how I've managed to get into the whole Disney cruise experience.
Out of all the restaurants you've eaten at,
Mm-hmm.
which is your favourite?
I'd probably have to go 1923 on the Wish.
Okay, next.
It's then going to be, and they're kind of going to go a little bit kind of in tandem, really. It's going to be Enchanted Garden on the Dream, followed by, and I can't really separate them out because you've got the Palace, Royal Palace on the Dream, you've got Royal Court on the Fantasy. They are so similar. I kind of feel the need to like clump them two together, if I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, no, bump them together.
And then out of the ones that I've eaten at, I'm then going to go into Animator's Palette.
Is that for the food or the experience, Jayne?
More the experience. I think this will become apparent because of my next two choices as well. I've then got Arundel, and I've then got Worlds of Marvel. And I think, to be fair to those last three restaurants, the reason I've placed them at the bottom of my list is because I personally am not a big fan of having lots of things happening around me while I'm trying to enjoy my food. It tends to be a little bit distracting and a little bit full on. Worlds of Marvel particularly wasn't a wow food experience. Arundel was a little bit the same as well. It's a very full on experience, and at the point where we had to wave our handkerchiefs around or our serviettes around, sort of thing, I was enjoying my food, and then suddenly I felt obliged to stop eating and throw this handkerchief scarf thing above my head, which then I thought, well, all I'm doing now is wafting air around my food, making it cold. So that wasn't great. And I think that, to be fair to animators, I think the setup of the screens you can actually see the screens quite well. You can therefore be as involved or not as involved as you want to be. The problem I had with Arundel particularly was my positioning. It felt very cramped in, and I had to be turning around to see what was happening because of where we were located. So, eating food and trying to pay attention to the performers, who, don't get me wrong, all brilliant performers, and did their utmost with it all, but I'm having to crick my neck to see what's actually going on because of where I was seated. And then with Worlds of Marvel, it's like I've got to press a thing and watch the screen and press a thing. It's like, really? I'm just... Yeah, and I think because of Worlds of Marvel, I'd seen, unfortunately, on vlogs and things, the video storytelling aspect that many times that I kind of knew what was coming, and therefore it took the shine off it for me, which is my own fault for having done that. But the food itself wasn't anything amazing in that particular location.
Okay.
So what about you, Michelle?
I started off with my top one as being Royal Court, which is a French-themed restaurant around Disney princesses on the Fantasy. I felt like the food offered was more to my palate, and I liked the fact that it is a restaurant.
Yes.
Rather than a show.
Yeah.
I then went to Enchanted Garden. It is beautiful. The only downside I will say with this one is that depends on where you are in the restaurant as to whether you get a good view or not. Our last seating on the Fantasy, we were quite towards the edge, and there was a porthole, which you would have thought beautiful. I can see the sunlight and the sunset, and the people right next to that window closed the blinds, and we saw nothing because the sun was in their eyes.
Ah, well, yeah, a bit of a shame, but understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the food was a solid, very tasty, very nice, wonderful. And then the next one, I actually could not remember eating here. So obviously this one was such an impact on me that I erased it from my memory. But was Lumiere's on the Disney Magic, and this is themed to Beauty and the Beast, and again is French cuisine.
Which you would have thought, if you'd liked to the French cuisine, that would have been one that you'd have remembered, potentially. Yeah.
But It was all good. Very, very good if you're a meatitarian, because obviously the French are very well known for their love of cooking food with lamb and duck and steak, all the good meats that I particularly enjoy eating virtually every night on my cruise.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I have got animators. Now,
Okay.
I love the environment, but I personally find the food is more of an afterthought, or could it be that I've had the experience 4 times that I'm a little bit, ugh, and it's the same food. And I know there's people going to be screaming, but what about the little perset pasta? That's amazing. I'm just done. Change the menu, Disney.
Yeah, I think it's yeah. I mean, I'm not a big pasta fan, so that didn't. I wasn't drawn to that anyway, no matter how much people rave about it. So
And the next one I've put is Rapunzel's,
okay.
because I've chosen this one. It's German fare, which I am not a big sort of sausage, sauerkraut, heavy type of meats and pretzels and things like that eater.
Mm.
I loved the theming, but it was a dinner show and I had my back to the stage, and it was either let my food go cold or keep turning round and cricking my neck. And I think because of the experience, it soured my opinion of the food, which is a shame because the dessert particularly stood out as a particular highlight because it's
Mm.
served in a frying pan.
Yeah, I think it's this strange one, isn't it? You know, I'm kind of thinking ahead to uh, my cruise later on in the year, which will be on the Dream, and I must admit, I'll only have Animator's Palette as the quote unquote entertainment variety, and that actually feels quite nice. Going on the Wish, having 2 out of the 3 dining experiences be shows or interactive elements for
Mm,
me personally, and it may be just a personal thing to me, maybe that British, I don't know what it you could point it down to, but there was just an element of like, you've got these really nicely presented, dishes that you're putting in front of me, and then you're dragging my attention away to something that's on the stage, and then I don't really feel that, like you've just said, that I can give these performers the attention that they deserve, because I don't want to be rude. I want to be taking part in whatever's going on, but then I'm torn because I've got food in front of me, and do I watch or do I eat, or and it's like,
mm.
I'm hungry by that
It's
point
just
in the
too.
evening. I want my food.
Yeah, yeah. Typically, especially if you're on the later dining as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so thinking about all of the ships,
Yeah.
we've now ranked them from the restaurant we most want to have. And if we could have it 3 nights on our cruise or 4 nights on our cruise, it's the one we'd really like to do.
Mm.
And then going down to the one like, really, I don't really even want to eat in that one at all.
Mm.
Go down your listing, Jane.
Well, I will stick with. I kind of like. It's kind of my gut response is kind of what I've just said. So 1923 was kind of the standout of all of those proper sit down. You're having a meal type restaurant
Mm-hmm.
experience, and I would be quite happy to eat there multiple times over the course of an extended cruise.
Mm-hmm.
I would then naturally fill in the ones that I've just talked about. I would then want to be slotting in before we get. I would keep all of the theatre type shows towards the bottom of my list. I think
Mm.
World of Marvel would be right there at the very bottom. I would then struggle to know what order to put those other ones because of the. So you've got Plaza de Coco and you've got the Pride Lands Feast of the Lion King that again, along with Arendelle, are those sort of theatrical presented meals. I've seen bits and pieces of them. I know that Coco gets a very high rating, and that perhaps would be at the top of those entertainment type shows for me.
Mm.
And then I think then that leaves the likes of you've got Tianas and Tritons, I think it is, on the Wonder, and obviously Lumiere's and
Mm-hmm.
Rapunzel's on the Magic. They would kind of have to sit in that middle ground for me because I kind of feel that they're obviously on a similar line to what you've got on the Dream and the Fantasy in the Enchanted Garden, the Royal Palace, the Royal Court vibe. Obviously, I hadn't fully appreciated that Rapunzel's had got a little bit of a entertainment value in there as well, which could put that might end up pushing that a little bit further down my list because of that element of it. So I think it's for me, it's very much that element of like, I appreciate the artistry and the entertainment and the thought that's been put into it, but I'm not big on entertainment and food at the same time.
And I think this is why we are such good friends, because our viewpoints are very similar. I am so excited about 1923. And to be honest, I didn't care about the itinerary when I was booking this cruise. All I wanted was a different cruise ship to go on that offered different menus. The downside is, for me personally, on the Wish, is that the other two restaurants are themed dining. So if I had the choice, I'd eat 3 nights at 1923 and then the 4th night in Paolo. I wouldn't even... to this point, seriously, no word of a lie, Tom and I are actually having this discussion right now. Do we bin off the other 2 places and either go to Paolo or have room service or have a early feast at one of the quick serve type options that you can have on the ship?
Well, if you're talking on the Wish, I would heartily recommend Mickey's Smokehouse Barbecue as an alternative to your evening meal, if you could get down there while that's still open, because that's cracking food there, absolutely cracking.
Next on my list, I've got Triton's, which I've not been on because it's on the Disney Wonder, but that's a very loose theming, so I felt okay. Then I've got Lumiere's, Royal Court, Enchanted Garden. I have got Tiana's next. Now, whilst I said I didn't like the dinner show, I feel the cuisine of this restaurant speaks to me more. So I would love to do that if I was ever on the Disney Wonder. Then I've got basically all of the others. I'd probably go in the order of Coco, because I like the Mexican themed food. Then I would go Rapunzel. Then I'd go Frozen, Lion King, and the worst of the worst of the worst, Marvel.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty consensus of opinions across. If you're watching and reading vlogs and blogs, etc., Marvel tends to come out on the bottom for a lot of people.
And to be quite honest, there are people probably listening now and saying, "Oh, Michelle, you've got it all wrong." So this is what you do, guys. info@disneydreamgirls.com. Email us. We would really love to hear from you and hear what your ranking would be. Which is your favourite restaurant on the Disney Cruise Line? If I had the chance, I'd have turned around and said Paolo and Remy, but we weren't allowing that in our little listing. You can also get in touch with us over on Instagram @DisDreamGirls. And as I said at the beginning of the show, the magic happens because of our wonderful Patreon supporters. Thank you ever so much. You will be getting a exclusive, just for you, little bit of Disney goodness from Jayne and I next week when we meet up in person. So if you have any questions, challenges, etc., get in touch with us. Let us know. Even give us a topic to waffle about, because we will be doing that exclusively for our Patreons next week. Anyway, lovelies, we hope you have enjoyed our musings. We thank you for listening to us, and we will see you next week. But for now, it's a goodbye from me.
And bye from me.